Sarah Jones, editor-in-chief of PoliticusUSA. Her analysis has been featured on several national radio, television, and print outlets, including Statewide with David Schuster, as well as the Washington Post, Atlantic Wire, CNN, MSNBC, The Week, The Hollywood Reporter, and all. Sarah comes to us from a background in TV and film, where she was a two-time Telly Award winner and now hosts Politicus News and co-hosts Politicus Radio. She is a member of the White House press pool and has covered Nancy Pelosi, then President Barack Obama, 2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, then Vice President Joe Biden, Senator Elizabeth Warren, First Lady Michelle Obama, and former President Bill Clinton. The website for Politicus USA is PoliticusUSA.com, and their Twitter handle is PoliticusUSA, and that's POLITICUS USA. Sarah's handle is at Politicus Sarah. Sarah, welcome to Deadline DC. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Brad. Thank you so much for having me on. I have been reading you for several years. So.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I mean, you're a wealth of knowledge, so.
Yeah, I write every week for The Hill, usually on Mondays, but this week it's going to be on Thursday, so I can write about the what happened Tuesday night. Let's start with that. It looks to me that I think Joe Biden will win all 232 of the electoral votes that Hillary Clinton won in 2016. I think that Biden is also good shape in the upper Midwest, in Michigan and Wisconsin. Now, if he wins all those Clinton votes from 2016 and wins Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, that will give Joe Biden 278 electoral votes, which is of course, 8 more than the magic number he needs to become president. So let's start with Pennsylvania. I feel pretty confident about Michigan and Wisconsin. Joe Biden has been living and campaigning in Pennsylvania in the last couple of days. I guess Kamala Harris is going to be there today and tomorrow, too. So what does Biden's situation look like in Pennsylvania? Because the Keystone State could be the key to the outcome of the 2020 election.
I actually think it looks really good here for him if everyone turns in their ballots. As of yesterday, there were 700,000 ballots outstanding. But here's the deal. Remember that Trump only won Pennsylvania by 44,292 votes in 2016. Less than 1 percentage point. So he can't afford to lose any of the voters that he had. And he can't afford for Democrats to turn out, which they really did not do in 2016. As of Sunday, in Pennsylvania, registered Democrats have a 1,159,135 ballot request lead over registered Republicans. Now, we expect Republicans to show up on the day to vote, obviously. But more than half of the early votes in states like Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina have been women, and women are breaking for Biden. And the other thing that's really interesting that we don't hear talked about in the mainstream media, because when they focus on Pennsylvania, they tend to focus on Philly, Pittsburgh, Erie, these counties. And what's interesting here is that we've been looking at all the data since we live here, and we're in western Pennsylvania. And if Joe Biden, all he needs to do is turn out and protect the vote and get just, cut into a little bit of Trump's support here. He doesn't have to win these counties, but just cut into it. And so you would see the same amount as, say, Obama 2012, which wasn't even as large as it was in 2008. And on the ground here, what's strange is I started noticing this in the summer, a lot more Biden signs than ever were Clinton signs in very rural, sort of red areas of Pennsylvania. So Democrats are fired up, and I think that's a really good sign that they're going to turn out for him. what I do want to warn everybody about, just in terms of if it comes down to Pennsylvania, there are some ways that it doesn't. But say it comes down to Pennsylvania, people should be expecting what's called the blue shift. So don't panic, because the immediate votes, the Republican legislature here has mandated that we don't count mail-in ballots until Election Day. So what you're going to see on Election Day is all of these counts of the Republicans who turn out to vote on Election Day. And then the blue shift will come later as these mail-in ballots are counted. So I think there's going to be an attempt by Trump, certainly, to claim Pennsylvania when that happens. And I just want to ease everyone's mind, wait for the blue shift. It will come. I'm not promising he's going to win Pennsylvania, but, there are a lot of votes out there for him here. So they won't be evident in the beginning.
Well, that raises an interesting question. Apparently, Donald Trump is going to, if he's in the ballpark, announce victory before all the votes in Pennsylvania and many other states are counted. So I guess the question is, will we know who wins Pennsylvania on election night, or will we have to wait till later in the week?
I don't think, I don't want people to count on knowing the results here on election night. Now, that doesn't mean, because there's some other scenarios, that we won't know who won. If there's a blue tsunami, we're going to know on election night. It may take a few days for the votes to be counted here. We do have an excellent attorney general who has laid down the law that there will not be the voter intimidation that we saw here. It was rampant in 2016. The Trump supporters were out. I talked to a lot of women who turned around at the voting place and left because they were so afraid of what was going on. So, they were intimidated. They left. And I think that Democrats are doing a much better job this time around protecting the vote and making it, it's outrageous that this has been allowed. It's outrageous that it continues. And you have to ask yourself, if these people have nothing to run on and all they have is fear and intimidation, why are they a viable party? They shouldn't be at this point.
Yeah, that's a legitimate question. Our guest in this half hour is Sarah Jones, who's editor-in-chief of Politicus.com. She is a member of the Washington. She's based. Where are you based? In Pittsburgh?
We're actually based in a Trump county in Indiana, Pennsylvania. It's western Pennsylvania, about an hour east of Pittsburgh.
Okay. We're going to break now for our radio listeners, but we'll stay tuned with Sarah Jones with our TV viewers, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after these messages and with more of Deadline DC with Brad Bannon and all sorts of talk about the presidential election.
If you're worried your friend may be struggling, remember, you don't have to be there to be there.
You could say, how are you?